few years ago, I had a side gig as a wedding photographer, and one day I almost lost my reputation and career due to a costly mistake. Here's what happened. I had just wrapped up a 3-day destination wedding shoot, and my laptop contained dozens of stunning moments and irreplaceable memories from the event. On the flight home, however, one of my bags, along with my laptop and other personal belongings, was stolen. I was furious about the loss, and even more furious when I realised the laptop contained the wedding photos. But in between, I remembered that I had the photos synced to my cloud storage. Or so I thought. When I got home and tried to recover the files, my heart sank. For unknown reasons, the sync had failed, and with no backup or recovery option, just a few random thumbnails and a message, "File not found." Sadly, I had to refund my client, and worse, the couple had no wedding photos to remember their big day. That one cloud storage failure nearly cost me my business and my reputation. That's when I realised that not all cloud storage is created equal. When things go wrong, only a reliable, secure, and user-friendly provider truly matters. In this video, I'm going to rank 8 major cloud storage providers into tiers, the ones that are superb in their respective ways, and the ones that need to be used with extreme caution. The ranking will be based on how they stack up in real-world use, from free storage limits, speed, privacy, features, and how well they actually protect your files. However, only one in particular deserves the elite tier for ticking all the boxes effectively. Could you guess which one it is? Trust me, it is not who you think it is. Stick around to find out. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which service fits your needs, whether you're a business owner, a creator, or someone just tired of all those account storage is full alerts. Also, remember to check the description for links that can help you save up to 50% off on these providers. All right. Let's get ranking. Let's kick things off with Google Drive, a cloud service that's become a household name. Whether you've used it or still do, it's easy to see why Google Drive is so convenient. The interface is clean, intuitive, and a breeze to navigate, especially if you're already in the Google ecosystem. Sharing docs, collaborating in real time, and backing up files or photos is second nature. No learning curve, just drag, drop, and you're done. Google gives you 15 gigabytes of free storage, which sounds generous until you realize it's shared between Gmail, Google Photos, and Drive. If you've been saving years of emails or photos, you'll burn through that space fast. I hit the limit myself after 3 years of forgotten email attachments. I almost upgraded to Google One, but then I found a better deal from another provider. Stick around for that. When it comes to speed, Google Drive holds its ground. Uploads are quick, downloads are smooth, and syncing across devices is seamless. I've opened huge PDFs on my phone without any lag. It's one of the most responsive cloud platforms, but privacy, not so great. While Google encrypts your files during transfer and storage, it still has access to your content. However, they claim they only gain access if you permit them, or if they are required by law. If privacy is a concern, Google Drive might not be the best choice. But remember the 2018 Google Plus bug that exposed 52 million users' data? Or how Google Fi's data got caught in a T-Mobile breach in 2023? Now that's a little something to keep in mind when entrusting your data to their servers. However, Google offers solid protection. Files are encrypted with AES 256-bit encryption, and for workspace users, there's client-side encryption. Unfortunately, this simply means individual users only get basic protection. Pricing is affordable. You can get 100 gigabytes for $199 a month, or upgrade to 2 terabyte. Google's AI Premium plan includes Gemini, but unless you need AI for photos or Gmail, it's a bit overkill. For me, it's all about storage. Quick question, would you pay an extra $10 for an AI inclusion and a storage plan? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. However, the value gets better as you scale, especially with family sharing options, as it supports storage sharing for up to 5 people. So for most users, it still hits a sweet spot. That said, Google Drive is arguably the king of convenience and collaboration as far as cloud storage is concerned. But if privacy is a priority, it's not the most locked down option out there. Therefore, it deserves a spot in the B tier for being great, but with caveats. Okay, next one up is Microsoft OneDrive, which is the default cloud storage for Windows users. If you've ever set up a Windows PC, chances are OneDrive was just there. You don't even need a 365 account. It's linked to your Microsoft account by default. You get 5 gigabytes of free storage right off the bat. It's not a ton by today's standards, but it is enough for light use. Documents, a few photos, maybe a small video. Honestly, you'll probably outgrow it fast if you're storing anything heavy. OneDrive is also fast, especially if you're in the Microsoft ecosystem. The integration with Windows is smooth. Save a file to your desktop, and it's in the cloud almost instantly. It feels effortless. One feature I really like is how OneDrive is fully baked into Windows Explorer as a folder backup, an upgrade that started with Windows 10. You can access synced files straight from your Explorer without needing to open the OneDrive app or go live online. It's super efficient. If you hop online, the interface is simple and clean, with options like Home, My Files, Photos, Shared, and Recycle Bin. Plus, thanks to its deep ties with Microsoft 365, you'll find tabs neatly laid out for your Word, Excel, and OneNote documents too. Now, let's talk about security. Like Google, Microsoft decrypts your files both during transit and at rest. So technically, your data's safe. But Microsoft can still access your files because your data is stored on their servers. Sub-processors like contract staff or tech partners can access it if needed, although it's heavily controlled and usually anonymized. Still, if complete airtight privacy matters to you, that's something to consider. That said, OneDrive does offer extra protection with its personal vault, a mini safe for sensitive files that require a one-time password, often sent to your registered email for access. And honestly, it's a pretty solid feature. When it comes to pricing, the real value shows if you're already using Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 Personal costs $9.99 a month and gives you 1 terabyte of storage, plus access to all the Office apps. The family plan at $12.99 a month gives you 6 terabytes total, 1 terabyte for up to 6 users. For businesses, OneDrive offers multiple plans, starting from $7.20 per user per month, including 1 terabyte of storage per user. Higher tiers offer even more benefits. Overall, the bundled 365 packages make it a pretty sweet deal, especially if you're already living the Microsoft life. So where does OneDrive land on the tier list? It's fast, reliable, and perfect for students or corporate users. But just like Google Drive, it's not the most private option. Something to keep in mind. That being said, it lands in the same tier as Google Drive. Now, like I mentioned earlier, 2 more cloud storage providers on this list also have some privacy issues, and we're about to dive into that. If you're finding value in this video, subscribing is honestly one of the best ways to support the channel. It keeps me motivated and helps me keep making valuable content for you, so go ahead and tap subscribe and hit the like button. I appreciate it more than you know. Thank you as you do so. Alright, let's continue. Let's talk about Mega and Dropbox. You've probably heard these names before, and for good reason. No? Well, they are very popular. Although, if we're being honest, some of that fame comes from not so great headlines. Don't worry, we'll get there. Stay with me. Starting with Dropbox. One of the originals of cloud storage. It has a clean interface and strong third-party app integrations. It feels fast, works reliably, and with regular tasks, gets the job done effortlessly. You get 2 gigabytes of free storage, which feels tiny compared to what Google and OneDrive throw in, but if you're just saving a few documents or collaborating on light projects, it's enough to get a feel for it. Now, Mega takes a different route. It gives you a whopping 20 gigabytes of free storage when you sign up. That is massive compared to most free offerings today. Plus, it's got a slick, easy-to-use interface and tight integration with its apps like MegaChat, MegaPass, and Mega VPN. When it comes to protection, both platforms do a decent job, on paper at least. Dropbox encrypts your data in transit with TLS, and at rest with AES 256, offers 2-factor authentication, and lets you remotely wipe your devices if needed. Pretty solid security tools. Mega, however, goes further. It uses zero-knowledge encryption, meaning that even Mega can't peek into your files. This is a huge win for privacy-focused users, in theory. But trust is still an issue here. Here's the thing. Dropbox, just like Google and Microsoft, holds the encryption keys. So technically, it could access your data if necessary, even though it claims to employ technical access controls and internal policies to prohibit employees and contractors from arbitrarily accessing user files, as stated in their security measures white paper. Plus, Dropbox's end-to-end encryption is only available for teams on higher tier plans, meaning regular users don't get that level of protection, which honestly feels like a miss. And then there's the history. Dropbox suffered a major breach in 2012, leaking over 68 million user credentials. That's no small blip. That's a deep scar that still makes security-conscious users like me think twice. Mega's roots trace back to the infamous Mega Upload, the file-sharing site that was taken down for copyright infringement and piracy. Mega today is a new company with new leadership and a legal focus, but that reputation baggage still hangs around. It's also had its share of troubles, like the 2018 credential stuffing attack that impacted around 15,000 users. To its credit though, Mega actively monitors and removes objectionable content, working with authorities to maintain transparency. So yeah, both have pretty rocky histories, but without the intricacies of their pasts, they both perform really well in the real-world use and deliver good value for money. Speaking of value for money, let's break down their pricing. Dropbox's plans are clearly geared toward professionals and businesses. For solo users, you get 3 terabytes for $19.99 a month. It comes with 190 days of file recovery and a 100 gigabyte file transfer limit. Not bad, but compared to top competitors, it feels a little less impressive. For teams, the deal gets better. The standard plan gives you 5 terabyte of shared storage for 3 or more users at $18 per user per month. If you need even more, the advanced plan bumps that up to 15 terabytes of starting storage for $30 per user per month, plus you get a full year of file recovery. Though it's worth noting the file transfer limit still caps at 100 gigabytes across all plans. Mega's pricing, on the other hand, is a bit more flexible. The Pro 1 plan offers 2 terabytes of storage and data transfer for about $11.36 a month. If you need more, the higher tiers let you upgrade to 16 terabytes. Of course, for a higher price. Mega also offers a Pro Flexi plan, which is a pay-as-you-go model, starting at $17 per month. It lets you scale up your storage to a mind-blowing 10 petabytes. PB, if you ever really need that much space. I mean, seriously, what would you even do with that much storage? But hey, it's nice to have the option if you're some kind of digital hoarder. Overall, Dropbox and Mega aren't as strong as my top-rated provider, but they still get the job done. Still, their privacy trade-offs and rocky histories are hard to ignore. That's why they land in the C tier. While they offer basic protection, trust remains a major issue due to past security breaches. If you choose to use them, proceed with caution. And if you're still currently using Mega or Dropbox as your default cloud storage, I'd like you to tell me why you are sticking with them down in the comments. All right, moving on to the next on my list, iCloud Drive. If you're a new user in the Apple ecosystem, chances are you're already using iCloud Drive without even realizing it. iCloud Drive runs in the background, syncing your photos, notes, files, and even app data across all your Apple devices. And honestly, that tight integration is super convenient. But let's break it down a bit. You get 5 gigabytes of free storage with the standard iCloud account, which, let's be real, barely gets you past a couple of iPhone backups and photo syncs. It's one of the lowest free tiers out there. So, unless you upgrade to iCloud Plus, you'll probably hit the limit fast. Apple has a strong reputation for privacy and focuses on it. Files stored in iCloud Drive are encrypted both in transit and at rest. With iOS 16 and above, Apple provides advanced data protection, which enables end-to-end encryption for most of your iCloud data, including backups. Now, that's a big win. But there's a catch. Apple has stopped offering this advanced data protection feature to new users in the UK. This is due to a government demand for access to encrypted data. While the 14 iCloud data categories that are end-to-end encrypted by default, like iCloud, Keychain, and Health, remain protected, ADP's removal means UK users will no longer have the option to enable end-to-end encryption for other iCloud data categories, like iCloud Backup, iCloud Drive, and Photos, according to Apple support. However, for non-UK users, you need to enable this feature manually, and it only works if all your devices are up to date and enrolled. Plus, if you lose access and forget your recovery key, Apple can't help you recover your data because they can't even access it themselves. So while it keeps your data super secure, it comes with self-responsibility. Speed-wise, iCloud Drive is pretty snappy if you're using Apple devices. File syncing and document loading happen quickly and seamlessly. But once you step outside the Apple world, it starts to feel clunky. For example, during my syncing test between an iPhone and a Windows PC, a media file couldn't open on the latter. which explains why being in the Apple ecosystem is better. Protection-wise, iCloud is solid. There hasn't been any massive breach directly through iCloud Drive itself, but it's worth mentioning the infamous iCloud photo leak in 2014, which, while not a direct flaw in iCloud systems, did shake some confidence in Apple's security. However, they seemed to tighten things up after the incident by increasing iCloud security with measures like two-factor authentication and extra notifications on certain actions, such as data restoration or iCloud login via a web browser. However, when it comes to pricing, Apple keeps things simple with iCloud Plus. You get 50 gigabytes for 99 cents a month. For most casual users, that's more than enough. But if you're dealing with a lot of media files or work documents, you might need to go for the higher tiers, ranging from 200 gigabytes to 12 terabyte plans. These plans are competitively priced and can be shared with up to 5 other users. So what's the verdict? iCloud Drive is great if you're already an Apple user and want convenience with tight integration. It's secure, polished, and works best when you stay inside the Apple ecosystem. But for cross-platform users, it might not be the most flexible. That said, it deserves to be in the B tier for great with caveats. Okay, now I'm down to the last 3 cloud storage services on my list for this video. One significant feature these 3 have in common is zero-knowledge encryption, and only one among the 3 offers the best overall value for money. But first, let's examine the first 2, which are Sync.com and Proton Drive. Earlier I mentioned that both Sync.com and Proton Drive offer zero-knowledge encryption, meaning your data is encrypted so thoroughly that even a service provider can't access it. Only you hold the keys. For privacy lovers, that's a huge win, and a major step above mainstream options like Google Drive, iCloud, or Dropbox. Let's dive deeper. Starting with Sync.com, one of the more seasoned names in the privacy-first cloud space. Based in Canada, it's protected under strong data privacy laws, and better yet, zero-knowledge encryption is baked right in. No extra setup, no extra fee, it's just part of the deal. You get 5 gigabytes of free storage right off the bat, and earn an extra 20 gigabytes free, simply by referring your friends, which is decent. Paid plans are pretty affordable too, especially considering the level of security you're getting. For teams, Sync offers a range from the team standard plan at $6 a month for 1 terabyte to an enterprise plan when you can negotiate custom deals. But where Sync really flexes its plan muscles is with its unlimited storage option under the Teams Unlimited plan. That's right, unlimited storage. While other providers throw unlimited around with strings attached, Sync actually offers it with scalable, customizable pricing for larger organizations. Now, you don't see that often. Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox certainly don't make it that easy. If you're flying solo, Sync offers a 200 gigabyte starter plan for $5 a month, scaling up to 6 terabyte if you need more space. Interestingly, you can get the best price available for each plan using the link in the description. Now, what really surprised me during testing was Sync's upload and download speeds. It actually topped every provider on this list, hitting 20.36 Mbps upload and 20.75 Mbps download, faster than Dropbox, Mega, iCloud, and even my top rated. Meanwhile, Proton Drive clocked in at a modest 2.71 Mbps upload, but a stronger 18.40 Mbps download. It's not quite Sync's level, but it's still respectable, especially for a new player. In fact, Proton beat Google Drive, and even outperformed OneDrive in some download tests. My top-rated provider performed steadily with a 10.24 Mbps upload, but had the slowest download speed at 9.71 Mbps. It is not a speed demon like Sync, but it is reliable and consistent, which matters just as much in real-world use. So yeah, Sync shatters the myth that strong encryption must come at the cost of speed. That said, I'll be honest, the interface does feel a little outdated. It's not the sleekest or most collaboration-friendly platform. If you're after a modern, team-based experience, you might find it a bit clunky. But if privacy and raw performance are your priorities, Sync nails it. Now, stepping into Proton Drive. Although it is a newer player, Proton Drive has already made a name for itself, especially among fans of Proton Mail. Sharing the same privacy-first DNA, It benefits from Switzerland's strict privacy laws and offers zero-knowledge encryption by default. You get 5 GB of free storage too, but it fills up fast. Where Proton Drive shines though, is in its usability. The app is clean, polished, and super easy to navigate. You also get offline file access and built-in document editing. Definitely a nice touch. However, it does feel limited if you need deep collaboration tools like those found in Google Drive or Dropbox. Pricing is reasonable. The Drive Plus plan starts at 200 GB for $3.99 a month, with higher tiers offering up to 3 TB. It's not as competitive as Mega or Apple's high-end plans, but Proton sweetens the deal. Higher tier plans bundle a VPN, password manager, and encrypted email. That's a solid bonus. Additionally, you can save up to 40% on these plans annually using the link in the description. Quick note though, Proton's privacy reputation took a slight hit in 2021. They handed over a user's IP address to Swiss authorities after a legal request. In response to the criticism, they clarified on their blog, saying they received a legally binding order from Swiss authorities, which they are obligated to comply with, as there was no possibility to appeal this particular request, which is admirable, honestly. Still, it kinda caused a slight dent to their privacy-first approach. So if you're chasing absolute anonymity with Proton Drive, this is something to keep in mind. Sync.com, on the other hand, has kept a spotless record. There have been no major breaches or controversies. So, overall, Sync.com feels like a mature, battle-tested veteran with unmatched performance and security, while Proton Drive is a slick, privacy-focused newcomer that's growing fast but still has a few limitations. Both are excellent, but not flawless, which is why they comfortably earn their spot in the A tier. While I genuinely appreciate what both platforms offer, neither quite manages to beat my top-rated cloud storage provider, which we'll get to next. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video and would like to support the channel. While both Sync.com and Proton Drive excel in privacy, one provider balances everything just right, and that's pCloud. If you've been an active subscriber to the channel and have been following my videos on cloud storage for some years now, you probably already guessed it. pCloud is my top-rated cloud storage service for good reason. It manages to hit that sweet spot between privacy, speed, usability, and value. And that's not something you see very often in this space. First, let's talk privacy. pCloud is based in Switzerland, just like Proton, so you get all the benefits of Swiss privacy laws. But here's what makes pCloud different. Although zero-knowledge encryption isn't turned on by default, it is available as an add-on called pCloud Encryption. Once enabled, it locks your files in a private folder called Crypto, which no one but you can access using an encryption key called CryptoPass. Plus, it provides an option to stream media directly without downloading, which is honestly such a game changer. After completing a few steps upon sign up, you can get up to 10 GB of free storage, which is more generous than Sync, Proton, and even Dropbox. However, it isn't as much as what Google Drive and Mega offer for free. But there is no denying that its paid plans are also super competitive. Its entry plan gives you 500 GB for $4.99 monthly, and the higher tiers give you up to 10 TB at a higher monthly cost. Additionally, the most selling point of pCloud's paid plans is the one-time lifetime payment option. This means no monthly subscriptions or recurring bills, just a one-and-done deal, which is not a regular feature among most cloud storage services. The lifetime plan gives you equal storage as the monthly plans in its tiers, but at a one-time cost-effective price. However, it's also worth mentioning that pCloud isn't the only cloud storage service offering this option. It takes the lead with its value-packed features in its plans. I made a video comparing pCloud with other cloud storage providers offering this lifetime plan. I'll leave the link in the description so you can see how they compare. Plus, its apps across desktop, mobile, and web are intuitive, well-designed, and packed with features like file versioning, unlimited file size, unlimited upload and download speed, and third-party integrations and backups from other platforms like OneDrive, Dropbox, and Facebook, to name a few. That level of flexibility really stood out to me. As for its track record, pCloud has no known breaches or shady business. Its clean record gives me a lot of confidence in trusting them with sensitive files, at least for now. To wrap up, pCloud may not be the fastest, and its zero-knowledge encryption isn't free. Still, it's the only service on this list that truly nails every core area. Strong privacy, solid performance, generous storage, fair pricing, and a feature-rich experience. If you'd like to try out pCloud, I found a landing page that offers the best price. I have included the link in the description, so feel free to check it out while it's still up. So for the everyday user who wants a secure, reliable, and versatile cloud storage solution without breaking the bank or sacrificing ease of use, pCloud is the real winner. Therefore, it earns the spot in the S tier as elite in the cloud storage space. And with that, we've reached the end of this ranking. Whether you're after top-notch privacy, faster speeds, or the best value, I hope this helped you find the right fit. If you care about your files, you probably also care about your email and device security. So don't stop here. Check out my video on the best email providers right now, especially if you're tired of Gmail peeking into your inbox. And if you're looking for the best malware protection for your device, watch my breakdown of the best antivirus software, which is tier ranked like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.